Hi, I'm Jody Espina, president of Chedeville, and this is Dr. Russell Brown. Dr. Brown is playing the Chedeville Elite Clarinet Mouthpiece F1 tip opening, the 105, with a Leger 3.5 European cut. We're going to talk about articulation.
One of the things that frequently happens when students come in from college is their articulation is woefully underdeveloped compared to their finger technique. So we're going to talk about an exercise that they can use to help refine their articulation, specifically to figure out exactly where the reed is with their tongue in comparison to their tongue. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play just an open G. I'm going to touch the tip of my tongue, because the tip of the tongue goes to the tip of the reed, and I'm going to touch it to the reed while still letting the reed vibrate. It tickles a lot, so it'll feel a little bit goofy. And you learn exactly how far away is. You don't want to close the reed because we don't want to apply too much pressure yet. So it sounds like this. And after you develop that technique, then you touch the reed and then you apply just enough pressure to close the reed. So that way we can learn to minimize the pressure of the tongue against the reed itself. So. And then when we develop that, we can control the reed so much more because we're not putting a lot of excess pressure against the reed, so we're not cutting off too much of the airstream, and there's an economy of motion in your mouth.
If you push too hard, is it going to slow down your articulation?
It slows it down tremendously because you're using extra muscles to push that in there, and your tongue is physically covering more real estate. And if we minimize that amount of motion, then we can speed up their articulation and also grants clarity.
When you're tonguing, does the tongue move at all?
Now, the front of the tongue should be doing all the movement during the articulation. The back of the tongue can raise and lower based on which part of the range you're in. If you're in the upper range, you're going to have to raise it a little bit to voice it, to get it to resonate well. Lower range, you're going to have to bring it down a little bit to get it to keep the resonance there as well.
Smoking. Dr. Russell Brown, Jody Espina for the Chedeville Elite Clarinet Mouthpiece. Practice your articulation.